Dark Artisan here again, and I'm bringing you my video for the showcase of my Dark Eldar army. Most of it is fully painted, so hopefully you should enjoy it. You've probably seen it in the back rep I uploaded last week. However, tonight I actually have one of my friends round, Codex Phil. Check out his channel, really good story times, cool guy. Say hello, Phil.
Yo.
So, yeah, this is my Dark Eldar army, as you can see there. Channel name, Dark Artisan. So there is the Dark Artisan formation straight in front of you. Shout out quickly to a channel, The Warp Forge. Jacob is a member of our local club. And Jacob has actually wrote quite a bit of fluff for me Dark Eldar for me. And because Phil is really good at story time, he's going to tell you about the Cabal, Witch Cult and Coven that is part of this army. So, take it away, Phil.
Okay, so the Cabal part of it is called the Cabal of the Violet Grief, and it is led by Archon Drasko Veridon, and he is head of the operations. Archon Drasko Veridon is renowned as one of the best arms dealers in the poison weapons in the Dark City. This is due to its high quality of poisons, mass-produced by tireless slayers, all from the Homunculus Coven, that gets best picks of the slayers from the Cabal's raids in return. They also generate large amounts of income from a popular witch cult sponsorship at this moment in time. The Cabal is notorious for raiding Imperial space for fresh slaves, and some of the most original torture methods are known to the denizens of the Dark City. The witch cult of Envenomed Violet, led by Succubus Venerus Varia. Born as the bastard of a witch, Venerus has since become one of the most popular killers in the pits, and is now among one of the favourites in the Dark City, with income coming in from the Cabal and a variety of slaves to test her skills endlessly. She's always trying out new techniques. Each technique is like a stunning perfection of dance and murder. With her skills always dazzling the audience, it is her and her witch cult which generate large amounts of income to itself and the Cabal, as well as hunting parties for more exotic creatures that the Cabal does not usually find. The Homunculus Coven, Coven of the Flayed Hand. This coven is heavily tied in with the Cabal of Violet Grief for producing some of the finest toxins in the Dark City. Drak's skills are highly sought after, but maintains a sturdy relationship with Archon on good terms. With the deal they get the best choice of slaves to play with on the raids, to which is music to Drak's ears. Not one for politics, Drak prefers to stay in his labs and create the most vicious of flesh beats, only to test them out in real space, just to see the pleasure of his creations causing endless pains and bloodlust to his enemies, and receiving joy for his sick toys. To Drak, it is payment in itself, to see an impleasurable sight, but he also plans on creating an army of freaks just to see the pain he would cause unto his fellow denizens, to give him new thrills of joy and bloodlust through his sick and twisted mind.
Thanks for that, Phil. So that is the Homunculus Drak Slive, and that formation is pretty lethal. I don't think anyone's actually killed it yet in any games I've used it.
It's a little female dog.
Not quite. You haven't taken him out yet.
He's worse than that.
So yeah, I'll show you around the army very quickly. So obviously we've got the Kronos and the Talos there, along with Drak Slive. I've got 10 racks here. Each of the ones with guns are actually magnetised. If you see me Blood Angels, you know I'm a fan of magnetisation. All the guns are magnetised, so I can switch between liquefiers, oxifactors and hex rifles. 2 of them actually have 2 arms fully magnetised as well, in case I choose to run acathists and upgrade them. I like the flesh on these particularly because I want a very dark, pale flesh. Obviously reflect how dark it is in the Dark City as well. At the back here are my grotesques. Now, they are a little bit random. and I'll talk you through them very quickly. I have mentioned them in one of my previous videos. Obviously, we've got Yuri in there. I'll just move him out the way. So this one, and that one there are Warhammer Fantasy Vargheists. The part of Tomb Kings or Undead?
Undead. Yeah, definitely. Not Undead. Vampire Counts.
Yeah, so they're from the Vampire Counts range.
Yeah.
As you can probably see, though, I've used the spare bits from Talos and Kronos, the chainflail there, the masks, and so forth. This is actually a Rat Ogre, which I got from Jacob.
And you're getting 2 more from me.
Yes, I am. I'm looking forward to that. A unit of 8 grotesques. Should be pretty lethal. These back 2 here are actually Chaos Spawn. Again, with just random bits added on, painted up very, very pale.
Do you prefer those models to the actual GW one?
Yeah, there's so much better. I mean, I think they're, what, 15.50 each?
Yeah, like 15.50 for the GW ones, and these ones probably cost like way less.
I think the 3 Vargheists cost me about £25, and then obviously the spares from the Kronos and Talos. The 2 Chaos Spawn I got second hand for £10, and Jacob actually gave me the Rat Ogre. So, yeah, for like not even £35, I've got 6 grotesque there as well. I should point out as well, Yuri and I actually got in a shop in Scarborough for £8. He was in one of the old blister packs. He's actually metal, and he's the only metal model in this entire army. Yeah. Just moving across, I want to show you the jet bikes actually. As you can see, some of them are highlighted differently, and that's because the jet bikes were the first models I actually painted up, and I did do a pink edge highlight. I later decided against it. I don't like it that much, it's too pink. So they do need touching back up. I'm getting round to that. I've only got a few more things left to paint and highlight in my main force.
They have caused a bit of problems. A local Necron player. Yeah,
as you can probably see from the bat rep that we did. I actually played Josh the week before as well. I don't remember the name of the character. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi or something.
Oh, it's Oberon, and is the Hulk one, which I think it's Orkin or something like that. Orkin or something like that.
Basically, the arena champion charged in, challenged him, and rolled like 5 or 6 Hammer of Rats rending. And Josh failed all of his saves and reanimations, so he wasn't happy. I basically sniped him out of the unit and killed him straight off, and that was the Warlord in that game. So that's how I've been running them pretty much, is using the champion to snipe characters out of units. And then obviously I normally run them as a group of 9 now with 3 cluster caltrops. It's great when you roll like upwards of 10 Hammer of Rats. When you roll a 4, however, that's not so good. But yeah, they're pretty lethal, especially with hit and run, so you can jump out, charge straight back in the next turn. Just at the back there, I'm going to have to hold the camera, so please forgive the shaking. Scourge, I did manage to snag a second Haywire Blaster. You only get 1 in the kit. I normally do run them as 4 Haywires and just a Shard Carbine as standard. Just to point out as well, the terrain piece is actually a candlestick holder. That I put some jewels on off an old bracelet and a bit of chain and stuff. Some moss, and there's another one there as well. But yeah, again, that's also a candlestick holder. So yeah, that's currently work in progress for the terrain. Just moving this way, can't quite get everything in there I want to, but in fact I'll move forward. I've got some old school Dark Eldar Warriors off eBay. I think I paid like £7 or £8 for like 20 of them. There was a few bits missing, but obviously I had spare guns and stuff from the Warrior kit that I bought. So I just fixed them up, put a couple of the newer heads on and stuff. And also got one of the new Raiders there as well. That one's been pretty highlighted. Not fully finished to the way that I want to do it, but I'll show you the one that I'm quite happy with as we move down as well. I've then got an old school Raider and 10 of the new Warriors. The Darklands Blaster and the, I think it's a Saberite here, are actually all magnetised as well. So again, I can swap weapons in and out with shredders or splinter cannons as I want as well. There's my Mandrakes. I still haven't finished them since I filmed my Paint and Challenge update and so forth. I've then got another 10 warriors here. And this is the raider that I'm actually quite happy with. Phil will be pleased to know. Phil's a Tyranids player, by the way. And yeah, that's my trophy from there.
It's not my curse game, so you haven't killed my dude.
Yeah, still though. We'll see.
Yes, we will.
I've then got the Forge World Reaper. It's amazing if it hits. It's also amazing if you don't roll a 1 on Haywire. Mine has a reputation of rolling a 1 on Haywire and doing nothing. I've got my Ravager there as well. The guns I should add on the Raiders and this are all magnetised, so I can swap them out for disintegrator cannons or Dark Lancers as I see fit. Void Raven. It's almost fully highlighted. You can probably see that with the wing there isn't quite done yet. And I'm still working on the base for the moment. The Void Lancers that you see there are magnetised as well, so I can swap them for the D-Scythe. And the bomb hanging underneath is also magnetised, so I can take it off when it's used. The Razor Wing, again, it's finished apart from it needs its last highlight. Fully magnetised all the missiles, so I can swap them in and out. And disintegrator cannons are also magnetised with Dark Lancers. One thing to point out as well, all of me vehicles have green gems on the left if you're looking at them, and blue on the right if you're looking at them. I have actually glossed them with clear gloss varnish. So you can't really tell because of the light, but they do look pretty nice. The same with the 2 Venoms there. I have got a 3rd Venom. It's not built yet, so I'm getting around to that. Just coming forward a little bit, I do have a unit of 10 Incubi, 6 of them, not fully finished yet. Again, from my painting challenge that you've probably seen the video for. I've been busy for a few days gaming and stuff, so I haven't really gotten around to them. The ones that are painted though, I'm actually pretty happy with. And this one here I use as a Clavex. He's actually, oh, hang on. I actually use him as the Clavex. He's got on the spare Archon helmet that I had. He's then got double-sized shoulder pads. And because the Claves are AP2, I thought it appropriate to stick a Blood Angel Terminator helmet under there, seeing as my other army's Blood Angels. There is the Succubus and the Archon. I know they're the older models. I got them literally just before the new Codex dropped. But honestly, I prefer these ones to the newer poses. The Succubus, I don't know. I like both. The new Archon, not so much. What do you think of the new Archon model anyway, Phil?
It's alright. I still prefer this one.
I should point out as well that both of them, again, fully magnetised. So I can swap weapons between them, Agonizers, Archive Glaive, Huskblade and so forth. I then wanted some beasts. Now, I don't have all of the beasts, and I thought they were a little bit expensive. Now, people tend to use the Chimera from what I've seen online, due to them being demons, 4 attacks each on the charge, 5 up invuln. Pretty lethal, and I've actually tied someone's avatar up with them for 3 or 4 turns, and knocked a couple of wounds off as well.
If it was me, I would have used the wargs from Lord of the Rings, but this one looks way better, what he's done with them. So
I should point out as well, I didn't actually buy a proper Beastmaster. What I did is I used the spares off my Reavers to create a skyboard. I used the legs off one of the Raider crew members. I used the spare torso from the rack kit that you would normally get to put in the Venom. And then I used a couple of spare arms and heads that I had as well. So it's an entirely kit-bashed Beastmaster. He's not fully painted yet, so please excuse it. Yeah, there you go. Sorry for the lighting, it's starting to get dark outside at the moment. But yeah, here's me beasts. They are direwolves from vampire counts.
yes, seems to be a lot of vampire counts in this army.
Yeah.
I want to get the chariot with the coffin in next. Use it as a Venom.
So yeah, I've got 10 of those. I think it's like £15 for 2 Chimera. I know they look a little bit different to these, but this is like £15 for 10. So yeah. The bases that you see are from an eBay store. I think it's called Demonscapes. I'll post a link in the description. He does a few different styles. These ones are kind of open ground ones. He does cobblestone ones. There's some apocalyptic ones with like debris and stuff on as well.
I've got a couple of cobblestone ones for some of my models as well.
Yep, they are pretty nice. If you bulk buy, they tend to end up being a bit cheaper as well. Very, very fast postage, and they're pretty detailed, and I've had no complaints at all. I think they look fantastic, to be honest. I do have more models I haven't showed you. However, Phil will also tell you that if I was a console gamer with 40k, the term I use would be rage quit with the rest of these models. Apart from one, I do have 20 witches, Lilith, and 10 Hellions that you can see in the background. And the last time I used the Hellions, Josh challenged me to use Dark Eldar only without any Coven supplement whatsoever. And I had a couple of points left over, so I thought, yeah, so that I'll take some Hellions. I try to use them as a support unit to support the Reavers. And what happened, Phil?
They go boom boom.
Yeah, he dropped a large temper from the C-10 straight on me, and I promptly proceeded to pick them up and almost throw them across the club at Phil. Yeah, they're also really difficult to tell which way they should go. Witches, I bought them just before the Codex dropped, and they were a lot better in the 5th edition Codex due to the haywire grenades. Now, not so much. I'm not in a rush to paint them. I never, ever use them.
Are these classes of jump infantry?
Yes, 12 inches.
So they can deep strike?
I believe so.
Yeah, so all jump infantry have the deep strike special rule. So the only way I would ever use these is really as distraction via deep strike.
They don't have deep strike.
No, all jump infantry have deep strike.
Fair enough.
So the only time I would ever use them is the deep strike and distraction. These, I don't know how their power weapons are, their nets are, and if they are any good, that would be the only reason why I would bring them. But
basically, the weapons are 5 points per upgrade. You can take 3 in a squad of 10. One allows you to reroll hits of a 1. One allows you to reroll. No, hang on. One allows you to reroll wounds. One allows you to reroll hits, and the other one allows you to reroll hits and wounds of a 1. For 5 points.
Yeah.
The witches, they're never going to do a great amount of damage.
Distraction!
Yes, they've got a 4-pin run in combat, but they're not fearless until turn 5, possibly 4 if you get an Animus Vitae or within 12 inches of Urian, or that you attach a Homunculus. It's just not worth the points. I think I'd rather take a Raider and 10 Warriors with Splinter Axe.
Lilith, on the other hand.
Yeah, I tried to use her once against Tau. Yeah, she got.
Let's leave it there.
Yeah, let's leave it there. She got blown up. I think she got insta-death actually because she doesn't have Eternal Warrior.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point as well. Urian does not have Eternal Warrior. Yet in the fluff, he loves to die and come back alive.
Heresy! Eldar trickery!
So yeah, that is the entirety of me.
It kind of ties in with the fluff for your craft world as well, though.
Yeah, we'll get to that in the next video, which I'm going to record straight after this. I'll upload both of them. So yeah, actually, I totally forgot one thing, Phil.
Ah, yes, you did.
I do have one. Yes. I think it was like £92 of pure rage hell to build. I used an entire kettle of boiling water on it to make it remotely fit. It was awful. However, once it's built, it's beautiful, and I will be getting round to painting it as soon as my...
The base is crap, though.
Oh yeah, it's on a standard skimmer base. It's absolutely ludicrous. I'm thinking about just getting a stem for it on a monstrous creature base, and just literally pinning it onto that. But yeah, that's probably the next thing in this army that I'll paint after I finish up them few incubi as well. Oh, actually, totally forgot as well. In the middle of the incubi, there's Drazar. So yeah.
I haven't tested them out.
No, I haven't tested them out yet. I think they're about to stick them in a raider with a crap ton of incubi and charging around killing terminators and stuff, hopefully. The only disadvantage is obviously they're only like strength 4 for the incubi, possibly 5 depending on what turn it is with Furious Charge. So yeah, that's me entire army. Phil, you've seen me play with these a few times. I've only played you twice, I think, with them.
That was like the beginning of you buying them, which was like 6 months ago.
Yeah, when I was still first learning the rules.
And when you pussied away in one of our games, with all that we had left was a Venom.
I still won.
Yeah, because I had crap. Okay, well, all right. Let's end this right here.
What do you think the strengths and weaknesses are of the Dark Eldar then?
Obviously, the greatest strength is poison.
Being a mid player, of course.
Yes. Other great strength is Monkey's Covenant's book. Seems like the formations are coming out, like Space Wolves Supplement Codex and the Dark Eldar Supplement Codex has really helped them out. Even the Orc one helps them out a lot. Seems like the Supplement Codex is the way to go now. I wouldn't say so for some of the ones like the Space Marine ones. I would say it's more of the newest ones with the bunch of formations. Like you can see the Dark Artisan, the Grotesquerie. It's deadly.
I'd just like to point out as well, both of them, I mean, toughness 5 on the Grotesquerie, fearless straight away if you've got, well, you have to have a Hemi with them. But like 3 wounds apiece, 3 attacks apiece. Obviously, look out, sir, and like with Urian, all the weapons are poison, 6s have instant death.
Yeah.
If you've got a Kronos nearby as well, and I mean, that's a 4, feel no pain, plus they get their own version of combat drugs.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. A weakness, low toughness, which is toughness 3. That's a problem that I think Eldar have a lot, but it makes sense a way. Another one is if you take away their cover saves, their vehicles are going to drop like no tomorrow. If you involve instant death, then their greatest attribute, which is Feel No Pain, will probably go away as well. So getting rid of their cover saves, let's say with Legion of the Damned, would wreck a raider completely. The Flyers.
Don't even talk to me about the Void Raven.
The last codex, they were good. This codex, they're not the best. Because you could just take a raider with your Kabalites and your poison. You have your poison boat, and that can deal with the Flyer easily. If it's a monstrous creature like mine, I don't think it would really work with other type of vehicles. But really, 1 Razor Wing would do. You're going to bring 3, then you need to have some sort of great tactic with it. But Void Raven, last codex, was amazing. This codex sucks.
It doesn't suck, you've got to use it right, and I kept going after tanks with it. And Josh actually played my own Dark Eldar against me playing Blood Angels, and he dropped the Void Mine on a squad of Tactical Marines, and
they went boom boom.
Yeah. I used it the other night, a couple of days ago, against another Necron player at a different club that I went to, and he took an Obelisk, and I rolled a 1.
Yeah, the Obelisk really does screw a Dark Eldar a lot as well. Yeah,
forcing flyers and skimmers to take difficult terrain tests when they wouldn't normally.
Yeah, like within 18 inches as well. That's a long range. If it was 12, you wouldn't be too boshed. But considering it's 18, it's a bit bigger and it's got a wider range, and he just charged it up the middle.
Straight up the middle of a 6x4 board and forced my army to divide. I basically castled up with the Grotesquerie and sat on objectives. And I only won in turn 7 because I flat out me Ravager up into his deployment line to get line breaker and ended 13-12. And I was biting my nails the entire game, so much so that like I've got no nails left on one finger nearly, and like really sore. So yeah.
I would say to change it up from how he plays his army now would be to buy a buttload more things. But interestingly, I think what he goes for at the moment is a shooty type of army with big toughness things that are going to wreck in combat. Like the bikes will wreck in combat, Grotesquerie will wreck in combat. Dark Artisan is more of a distraction, but if you leave it alone, you might as well cut yourself straight away. People
are terrified of it. I mean, majority toughness 7, and if you place the models carefully, you can't actually hit the homunculus due to being closest model. I always take the Kronos with a probe, so it's a 4, feel no pain. Yeah, they are pretty lethal. Majority toughness 7, 4, feel no pain, 3 up armor save. They take some chomping through with 3 wounds apiece.
Yeah. Another way really to change up the army is to go combat oriented, which would be like, in my opinion, would be, if you want the best, would be more racks, and they are expensive. Harry's only got 10. If you're going to go close combat orientated and you want to go full on, I would say maybe 10 more, and there'd be 5 more Mandrakes as well, because that could be pretty deadly.
Yeah,
I could totally see him buying 2 more Razor Wings, but that's probably not going to happen. I can see him buying another squad of beasts, maybe some Razor Wings, maybe some of the Claw Fiends. Don't think he would buy any more Incubi. Definitely buy more of the bikes, because Caltop seems to work every time. But to go close combat oriented would be a way to go.
Yeah, the racks I especially love taking the Ossa factor. It's like AP2 Fleshbane, and if you kill somebody, it does like D6 extra hits at the same strength of the toughness of the model that you kill. Obviously, racks, if you run them in the Coven formations, they are fearless. From turn 2, they've got feel no pain automatically. They get great. I mean, get stuck in there, tie units up because of the fearless. To be honest, yeah, I probably would get more racks eventually. But for the minute, I'm quite happy with the army size. I'm not planning on buying anything else for the moment.
In terms of Forge World, I don't think there's any more you would get apart from another Reaper.
I would possibly get a Reaper. I mean, there's only 3 models. I don't remember the name of the flyer, but
the flyer looks...
it looks awful.
It looks bad.
I haven't even looked at the rules. Apparently, they're not great.
If I did it, I would probably use the Void Raven as the model for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
That could be used for that model now, because it's just a waste of space.
But yeah. So yeah, that's my Dark Eldar army. I do have my Eldar army set up. I do sometimes take allies. It did start... yeah, except the day actually Josh challenged me to use Eldar only, and I always swore I would never play pure Eldar, and actually I did enjoy it. So I'm going to start uploading this now, whilst, well, when we stop recording, whilst I film the Eldar one. So if you've watched this as it's been uploaded tonight, stay tuned, there'll be an Eldar one up shortly as well. But yeah, thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, like Phil's channel. Got some really good stories.
Sponsor.
Codex Phil, that is.
Yes. There's going to be a lot more videos out soon.
Check out Warpforge. Jacob, he plays Batman as well. Some 40k. That's the Warp Forge. A couple of shout outs as well to Scarred Cast. I'll put his channel in there. Have a listen to his tactical videos. Absolutely phenomenal. I really learned a lot from listening to him. Does some great battle reports as well. And then there's also 40k Scribe. Doesn't always play Dark Eldar, mainly does. He has a lot of, I think, interesting conversations, I would say. He has a lot of theories he likes to post up. He's very involved with people and asks questions.
He's very well rounded as well, so because he's got a little bit of every army, and he's got good friends with different types of armies as well, so he can really answer any question. But he has very interesting discussions on there. Very interesting discussions.
So yeah, there we go. I'll be back with you shortly, and we'll get the Eldar one up as well. Thanks very much.